Hello everyone, welcome to my channel ASP.NET Core, and today I am going to teach you to display a list of the students with checkbox for each record as well as a checkbox to select all students. You can create a view model that contain a list of students and a boolean property to represent the selected state of the select all checkboxes. Okay, so display a list of the students with the single checkbox as well as multiple selection for the multiple checkbox. So how can do it in ASP.NET Core? It's a very simple process. You can say that multi select checkbox. Okay, so just create it in the .NET 7 standard. And so here I'm going to add a model that is student. So here we have a that is the class name, or you can say that empty file name, uh, student.cs, and here we are going to add top integer id and the name of the student, string name. Okay, so everything is fine. Now just I'm going to add a db context class. So here we have a new folder like data folder, and inside it application db context. So add a new empty file, application db context.cs file. Now just I want to replace this application db context with my you know that it's a type of db context, and db context is actually existing in Microsoft Entity Framework Core latest version. So after that, just install ctor db context options, and here I'm just going to add application db context, and here I'm going to add options and colon base, and here I'm going to add options. Okay, now just I'm going to add public db set of student, and here we have students. Everything is fine. Now just I'm going to add settings, and here we have connection string. And what is the connection string is yes, default connection. Okay, so local db database is asp. It's too much complicated, so just add few lines like multi check db. Okay, so here we have like that. So just I'm going to add that connection string in use SQL Server. So add manage NuGet package. So here we have two packages, SQL Server, and here we have SQL Server. Oops, actually related to the 8 or 7.0.3. So NuGet package. The latest release is latest stable, that is 7.0.3. Okay, and the next one is tools. Okay, so like that, and here I'm just going to add 7.0.3. Okay, now everything is fine. Now just go for the next thing, that is here we have in the program.cs file you have to add the connection string right here. So builder.services dot add a db context, and the db context name is application db context. Okay, and here we have going to options, and please suggest me okay, options dot use SQL Server, use use SQL Server, and here I'm going to add builder dot configuration dot get connection string, dot get connection string, and here I'm going to add the connection string name, and the connection string name you can say app settings, default connection, program.cs, and right here. Okay, so now after that you have to do migration, that is add migration initial, and wait for some times, it will be updated. Okay, so now update database command. Okay, and here you can see it's updated. Now just go for the next session, that is to create. Now just go for the student class, and here just I'm going to add a new view model class, that is the student view model. And in the student view model, here we have a boolean property, that is select all, and here we have a students class, that is the student class. So here we have a students property. Now just go for the controller section, and just I'm going to add it here, that is home controller. In the home controller, just I'm going to display a list of the students. So here you can see that here we have a code I action result student list, and in the context, so first of all context is added here, private application db context, under context, and you can say that here we have application db context, just initiate in the constructor, so add parameter to the home controller. So here we have a context dot students dot to list. Now in the view model, here we have a student view model. So initialize the student property in the view model. Now just go for the create a view. Now just right click on the students list and go to the view and add view. And here we have a razor view. And just I'm going to add a student list. Just I'm going to add create section. And here we have a list of the students. So just create a list. And just I'm going to add, or you can say that empty view is also just you have to create it. So empty without any model, so edit. So the name is the student list instead of any name, because that's just call that the same view. Okay, so wait for some times, I will scaffolding generated the view under the views folder. Okay, so wait for some time. Okay, so now after that you have just add this line of code, like a model is a student view model. You know that the student view model is like student view model. Here we have a student view model that is inside in the students class. So here we have a student view model, or you can say that just you can use it here instead of this, or otherwise it's very fine. Now ASP action is the delete action, so just you have to create it the same action, and method is the post. And here we have a table class. Inside the table header we have a select all, model dot select all. ASP4 is the boolean type of property, that is ASP4 is generated that type of checkbox select all, ID, name, and email. So in the first parameter there we have a checkbox for ASP4 is student dot selected. And what is the student dot selected, and what is the property of the students dot selected? Because in the students, in the model dot students property, uh, here we have a model dot students, you can say model dot students. So here we have a model dot students. Okay, so inside the model dot students, uh, here we have students list student dot selected this property, the name, and that return the checkbox student ID, name, email. Okay, and later on I will discuss on. So here you can see that here we have a property in the student class. So just open it and just paste it here. That is the type of property, that is bool, that is selected. Okay. So in the students list dot, here we have a student list. So just update, add migration, update student. Okay. So oops, it failed. So wait for some time, I will do it. Okay. So here we have a student dot selected list, and first of all check what is the error. Okay, everything is fine. Now just go for the delete action method, because I think it's related to this. So just I'm going to add models, the namespace, just define the namespace, and student list. Okay, so everything is fine, I think. Now student.id, the dot name and email is not there. I know ID and the name is there. So student.id, it's not matched. Student.name is matched. Email is not matched. Okay. Okay, everything is fine. Now just to go for the package manager again and add migration, update student. And here you will see and update database. Okay. Now just go for the next section, that is the home controller. And here we have to design the delete action method. So the next one is to add the delete action method. So here we have a delete action method with the student view model. Just I'm going to pass from the view to controller, that is student view model. And in the student view model, we have the list of the students. So if the select all is checked, then context.student.remove range with the view model.students that is exist. And if it is single selection, so on the behalf of view model.students.where .as.selected, lots of selected. So delete, remove range, the list of the selected, you can see. Okay, so view model dot students dot where selected and remove range selected students, just I want to remove it. Okay, so context dot save changes and return a redirect to action the list of the data. So here we have a students class now, that, and the by default you know that it's a property of null. So you can say name is like A and B, C, oops, C, D, and E, F, G. Okay, so everything is fine. Now just go for the rendering, and here I'm just going for the student list. Just I want to render it, so just call it. So just I'm going to rendering it. That is the home controller name and the list of the students. Student list here we have, and just I'm going to now that ID and the name. And here we have a multiple select list, checkbox list is there. Now just I'm going to select this. Also you notice that when we select all checkboxes, these are not selected right now. And so if we select all checkboxes, then all checkboxes are selected. So just now I'm going to write a JavaScript code for that. And here you can say that here we have a function select all checkboxes, that is the ID property of the checkbox, select all checkboxes. So just I'm going to add it ID equals to select all checkboxes. Okay, and save this. And after that you can see that in the input.checkbox, input is the type of the checkbox and the name property is the selected students. So here we have the name property, name equals to selected students. So first of all, hide this. So just I'm going to later discuss on. So name is selected students, and here we have selected students. So if we change select all dot change function, then a property that is checked, just I'm going to add it. So this dot prop, that is the property I want to add it, that is checked. So all checkboxes. So here we have student checkboxes dot property that is checked, initialize with this dot prop in the parent in the child. If student dot, if any changes in the uh, other checkboxes, then first of all get all checked checkboxes. Student checkboxes dot length is double equals to student checkboxes dot filter of check dot length is the matched. Then checked all checkboxes, otherwise all unchecked. Okay, so save this and you can see the reflection. So just select this and unselect this, select this but unselect this. Here you can say some changes. Okay, so just I'm going to go for the Visual Studio again, and here we have the code. So I think you understand very well. Okay, so now after that you have that is the logic, because each and every control have their own name property. You notice that. So what should I do for the name property? Because right now here we have the name. If it is assigned a simple name right here with the selected students, then I mean to say that all checkbooks are considered in the single group. Okay, so here you can say if you want to send the selected value into the controller, just you can use for instead of for each, like that. And here we have at the rate of model dot students dot length dot count. Okay, and inside it here you can add like that. Okay, and here you have at the rate model dot students of I, that is the property of the checkbox that is selected. But that selected is the type of the boolean, just I want to send it in the controller. Okay, so here we have, you can see first of all check it, there is id and that is the name. Okay, so only the boolean property it's not enough, just I want to send the that is hidden property input type equals to hidden and ASP4, and that is the ASP4 that for ID. Just I want to send it in the controller for the deletion operation, just I want to need it here. Okay, that's fine, you can see it. But you notice that a student selected is not working right now, so you can check it. And in the controller section, have you create a breakpoint right now? Wait for some time, I will show you the complete process. Okay, so here we have home, oops, student list, and you will see that the student list, right time to display it. Wait for some okay, so now when we select it, it's not selected right now. So what should I do? But when I select and both and just I want to delete selection, then you will notice that in the view model here we have second is true, and third is also selected is true, but fourth is false. So that else method is run after the view model dot selected dot pair selected dot to list and remove the range. Okay, but also we have some logic in the JavaScript, that is the name property of the type is the box is different. So just I want to say that if I want to take it here name, and just I want to take that is the student ID, you can say. Okay, so here we have the model dot student ID. So each and every control have their students match with the students. Okay, so you can say that students, and you can use that sign. Okay, so okay, just change this name, that is the C underscore model student dot ID, or you can say any name, you can just select it. So here we have C underscore, so the name property is that sign and C underscore. Okay, so match with this name, and you can see. So okay, so everything is fine. Now just when we select this, then you can say that all these are selected, but when we unselect this, then you will see that unselected. So just I want to remove that part of this code, and just delete selection. And after delete selection, debugging point is created, and just I want to continue on this line, and you will see that everything is remaining constant. What's going on? So just select this and check all this data again, and delete selected, and you can say, and what data is selected. Actually, just check this, it's too false, it's false, it's false, it's false. Okay, so it's false actually. So just go for the next CSSTML, and you just go for the gain, and here we have a ID property. Everything is fine. Now the selected is right, but in the model section you can see the name is similar. Okay, so stop this debugging. Okay, so you notice that each and every time the checkbox is selected, unselected, so just got every time I got false. Okay, instead of this true. So you notice that. Okay, so just I want to save this changes and run it again. Okay, so here we have C underscore ID is 1, 2, 3. So every time the checkbox is different instead of the same. So the value will be transformed to the view to the controller section. So here we have the list, and you will notice that selected, unselected, everything is right. Now just select this and select this and delete the selection, and here we have the first selection is right or wrong. The first selection is false again. So what's going on? It's selected, ID is selected, ID is right there, is not, ID is passing through, ID is right there, but it's not selected. So what happened with this code? So okay, now in the code, in the source code, I have to check the name property, and what should I take it here? Okay, so wait for some time, because it's take time to delete the some student model list, and just write on it and ups. And if you here you can see that here we have a checkbox, uh, that is the checkbox, and here we have the name property is C1, you can see, and in the C2 here you can say, oops, it's checked, and here we have the C2. Okay, so each control have their own property. Okay, so when I select this, but it's not actually select this and delete some items, and just you can see in the first item in the select list it's not selected, there is false. So what should I take it here? If I take without name property of the checkbox, then you can see each and every item will be selected. And what by default the ASP.NET Core and Razor pages provide the name to the control on select list, and here you can see what is the name property of this checkbox, and the name property is that is the students of 0 dot selected. You can notice that. And what is the this is that is the students of I dot selected. I mean to say that one. Okay, so when I select this, the first and the second, you can notice that that item will be selected, but jQuery is not working right now. So when we delete the first and the second item, you will notice that the first and the second item will be selected right now. Here we have a true, and it's also true. So what should I take it here? And you can just go for the continue, and here you can see that first and the second item will be removed. Okay, so very well, but jQuery is not working. So how to define the jQuery? jQuery is actually working on the browser, or you can say that JavaScript is working on browser. So instead of this line, you can take students instead of anything. Okay, so because you know that the students of I, so the match is students. So here we have jQuery is working and checkbox is also. Now you can see here, just I want to remove the fourth record instead of third. So you can see the fourth record, I mean to say that the ID is 4, that's true. So just remove this. Okay, and it's working now. That's fine. So now you are the full code. Thank you very much for watching this video, and keep watching all other videos which is related to ASP.NET.